Welcome back. So in previous video we went with the discharge in the end. Now we'll be continuing. Now this is a topic of granulation tissue. So the types are healthy granulation tissue, unhealthy type, and unhealthy, pale and flat type, then exuberant granulation tissue, also known as proud flesh, and sprouting granulation, and pyogenic granuloma. So here we will be discussing on healthy. Under healthy, it occurs in healing ulcer and it has a sloping edge and also bleeds on touch. It has a serous discharge and an important characteristic is peas. So here it is pink, punctate, hemorrhage, pulseful, painless, pink head granuloma. And streptococci growth in culture. So other point is the pink head granuloma. It takes place, the skin grafting takes place in healthy individuals, healthy granulation tissue, and with respect to this, the streptococci growth should be less than 10 to the power 5 gram of tissue before skin grafting. So quickly to recap, we saw granulation tissue. It's divided into healthy, unhealthy, pale, flat type, then exuberant growth and tissue, which is proud flesh, and sprouting granulation, pyogenic granuloma, under healthy, healing ulcer, sloping edge, bleeds on touch, and serous discharge. It has 5 P's: pink, pulseless, painless, pulseful, painless, punctate hemorrhage, pink head granuloma. Then skin grafting is healthy granulation tissue. For healthy granulation tissue, the condition that is streptococcus should be less than 10 to the power 5 gram before the skin grafting. Another important point to note is about pyogenic granuloma. Under pyogenic granuloma, it is a type of exuberant tissue. So it is a subheading of the exuberant granulation tissue. And the granulation tissue forms the infected granulation tissue from an infected wound or ulcer. It protrudes out. and it is well localized. Bleeds on touch. So the differential diagnosis would be papilloma, skin, adnexal tumors. The treatment will be administration of antibiotics and excision, and then it is sent to biopsy. So other points that I will be telling in short. So we spoke about healthy type. We spoke about, in case of unhealthy, it is pale with purulent discharge. There is purulent discharge and the floor is covered with slough. Then there is slough in the floor, and it is a spreading ulcer. Then with unhealthy pale flat granulation tissue, it is seen in chronic non-healing ulcer. Chronic, and it is in non-healing ulcer. Next, looking at exuberant granulation tissue, it occurs in exuberant granulation tissue. It occurs in sinus or ulcer where the granulation tissue protrudes out of the sinus. Out of sinus opening, or the ulcer bed like a proliferating mass. It is commonly associated with, the foreign body that enters. Next, sprouting granulation is of the sinus, associated with sinus, and we have already spoken about pyogenic granuloma. This is also done, everything is done. And summarizing the pyogenic granuloma, it is a type of exuberant granulation tissue. It protrudes out. That is granulation tissue from an infected wound or ulcer bed. It protrudes out and well localized, and it bleeds on touch. Differential diagnosis of pyogenic granuloma is papilloma and skin adnexal tumors, and treatment is by antibiotics, excision, and then you send it to biopsy. So now, looking at the investigations to perform, we have to do the discharge study. To take the discharge and test the discharge, and so under this there will be culture and sensitivity, CT-VT, and next we also look for AFP study, and also looking for cytology. And other points are wedge biopsy, then there is X-ray, FNAC, also the chest X-ray can be taken. This X-ray mentioned was for the bone. Look for any osteomyelitis, and also we can rule out by performing Mantoux test for tuberculosis, as well as we can perform tests such as the hemoglobin, the ESR, the total WBC count, and also the serum protein estimation. Protein is nothing but the albumin. Now, quickly summarizing, it is investigations, discharge test, culture and sensitivity, AFB study, and cytology. There is also wedge biopsy, X-ray, FNAC, chest X-ray. There is Mantoux test, there is hemoglobin, ESR, total WBC count, the serum protein, that is in albumin. Now, looking at the how do you assess an ulcer? Assessment. In case of assessment of an ulcer, we need to know the cause. Cause to be known. Cause. And under cause, we need to know whether the patient is diabetic, diabetes, or venous, arterial, or any infective state. And the clinical type should be assessed. And the wound, in case of the wound, what to look for is the site, size and depth of the wound. Also, we need to look at mobility, looking for mobility, fixity and induration of the surrounding area. And the wound imaging is done. Wound imaging, and this is done with help of by tracing on transparent acetate sheet. Tracing on transparent acetate sheet. Next, looking at other systemic features. Under systemic features, we check for the regional nodal status. We look for the functioning of limb. We look for joint movements and distal pulses, as well as sensations should be checked. Looking at the severity, even the discharge, important, the discharge should be noted. And as we mentioned earlier, the investigations include the X-ray as well as blood sugar, and the AV, Doppler, as well as the angiogram can be done. So just to quickly summarize, so the assessment, firstly we need to go by the cause, knowing whether there's a diabetic, venous or arterial infective state, and then we look at the clinical type, and the wound assessment should be done. It is by checking the site, the size, the depth of the ulcer, and also the mobility, fixity and the induration of the surrounding area. The wound image should be done, and tracing the transparent acetate sheet, that's how the wound image is produced. Systemic regional lymph node, functional limb and joint movements and distal pulses and sensation should be checked in case of systemic, and discharge also should be looked at. And investigation is X-ray, blood sugar, AAV, Doppler, arteriovenous Doppler and angiogram should be performed. So thank you. We'll be continuing this again in the third part.